Hello, internet. I'm not alone, internet. I'm sorry. What did you just say to me? Hello. Hello. No, I do not want to do that. Unless it's like Man Struck Woman, where he's like, I would never. He's like, you got to choose Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, or I forget the last one. And then he's like, oh no, I think I'd marry my ex, Catherine. And he's like, what? He's like, no, you have to pick one of those three. What a great show Man Struck Woman is. Yeah, yeah. It's just a game. Mike, you've heard the thing where he's like, we're just men. We're just innocent men. Where like that meme just appeared. I feel like it just appeared out of nowhere. No, not dude. That's a dog. That's a dog. You understand that you just asked one of those things doesn't make sense because and get John Wicked. So you're saying I can't fight the A tier? It's too good for me. But I've got all the counter abilities. And I've got two elixirs. Dude, I spent 36 grand to get a trophy. I don't care. Who cares? It's about the money in this game. Dude, you know how much money I have already? I have 38,000 gil, which is more money than I've ever been paid in my life. It's not? Yeah, this game doesn't have materia. Unless unless it does and I haven't got there. Is it just the 8 has materia, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure 8 has materia. I like 8. I like the bind system. I don't like 7 at all, so it's Oh yeah, I haven't used any of these abilities yet. I forgot. I haven't used Titanic Block yet. Can't wait. The circle ability for the Earth powers. Yeah, I'm all about countering. Oh, I just missed my counter. Okay, well. And then, oh, I can't use either of those yet. Titanic Block. I forget what the thing is. Like, you get perfect parries? Is that the... What am I fighting over here? What do we got? A Cray Claw. These things usually aren't even fast enough to attack me.
I needed that.
Oh, that's a potion. Shit, I wanted Torgal to attack. He's playing Just Cause. Oh, and I'm Adamantoise. I'll fight that big fucking turtle.
Hold him back.
Okay, what was the trophy for? I gotta look up the trophy. And I forget how to do it. Land the third punch of a Titanic counter twice on a single battle. Use Titanic block to fend off 10 enemy attacks. Oh, that's easy. But the counter. Land the third punch of a Titanic. Yeah. I mean, I landed all three of that. That was pretty sweet. Okay, apparently I can't. Maybe the Titan counters. Got it. I got the one trophy already. Torgal just seems to be... You know why? Because I don't have the thing on. Torgal doesn't auto-attack for me. I didn't realize that the counter was punching instead either. Like, okay. So I'm just using this on adamantoids because they take forever to kill. Oh, the other one's just... Land the third punch. Yeah, okay, I did that. I just needed the Titanic block 10 times. So that's... I don't have to do anything. Ooh. Yeah, I know. Oh, baby. Heat Wave. Heat Wave's great. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yep. I still have... Do you hold down for wind-up? Have you used wind-up? That explains why I keep fucking it up. What? Raging Fist? Bugs. Oh my god. I guess I'm like almost up at their level, so that makes sense. What's over here fighting me? Oh wow. Nope. It scared me too. But I couldn't see my TV, so, you know, what are you gonna do? Do you know what these are ready stones are for? That are like around the place? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Oh my god, that just keeps going. I don't remember if red is good or bad with that. See a Rark. It's okay when you do the circle, you want to get red. Okay. The arm's kind of cool, but I kind of wish it was just like a bunch of rocks as the shield. You know what I'm saying? I like that I can keep punching even though it's dead.
Get him. Farewell.
Part of me thought about playing like some CK or something today instead of this, but yeah, just like, I did play a lot of this, and then I had like kind of like a 2-day break. I was like, I could. Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, I fucked that up. Oh, it's not. Oh, it still works. You can counter with the big punch too, can't you? Raging Fist? Yeah, I thought there was a... Oh, does Wind Up have a counter? Listen, man, I changed... I probably... Because I made all of the things different on purpose. I made Wind Up my triangle. The Raging Fist good when they're stunned. I don't remember if it does a lot of damage or not. But that was not what I meant to do. Yeah, I'm kind of rusty on the controls. Raging Fist is 3-3 and Wind Up is 4-2. Wow. I'm guessing how's the Earth and Fury? Where you land both hands at the ground. That's the big one. That's the because it's 4 damage and 2 stun. But well here's the thing though, it's 4 damage and 2 stun, but like Judgment Bolt is 4 damage and 3 stun. So I'm like, isn't it better then? Right? Like, isn't it just a better ability? I haven't used Upheaval at all. Because I feel like with Upheaval, might as well just use Pile Drive. Yeah. You're probably using a whole other element now that you can't tell me about, so. Yeah, so I'm in Green Sheaves right now, which is just north of Martha's Rest. And it's called the Hand of Hyperion. It's like an already stone. And there's a couple of these around in different areas. And they're not for fast travel. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering. I genuinely wonder if that means... Because, like, he basically says it's like a time thing. And I'm like, I wonder if that actually means there's fucking time travel in this game. It would not surprise me after Strangers in Paradise. Like, yeah, a piece of pizza is basically like a small sandwich. Yeah, it's a lot of bread. It also depends on how much of the pizza you eat. A whole pizza, it's a lot of calories. All right.
Hi. If it ain't the lad who saved my life. What you do, Bernard. Martha said I might find you here. I have a proposition for you.
The most pizza I've ever eaten was like 5,000 calories in one go. I was like 21. We made, yeah, but it was like actually 2 pizzas stacked on top of each other with a bunch of other stuff in it. And it was like a quarter of a pack of bacon and a quarter of a thing of shredded cheese and a bunch of other stuff.
If Martha didn't mind me being gone a while, then neither do I.
We made our own epic mealtime thing.
That's the spirit.
And then I ate a quarter of it because it was like 20,000 calories for the whole thing. and I ate a quarter of it, so it's like 5,000 calories. And honestly, one of the best things I've ever eaten.
Well, that
Like,
there
top
is
3 things.
Cressida, where I grew up.
Dude, it was
Not
amazing.
much left of it now, though. Except my parents' graves. But I came up here hoping to visit. I even patched up the bridge to get across. Only to find the place crawling with thieves.
And I've definitely
Well,
eaten more
you're
than
a
5,000
dabber
calories
when
in
it
one day
comes to
before.
dealing with
Since.
beasts and bogles, ain't you?
Probably recently.
Any chance you could...
It's the least I can do.
thank you kindly.
No, you just can't have 5,000 calories every day. Like, every other day. Keep in mind, at my height and weight, my basal calorie burn is 3,100.
I'd be much obliged if you could rid the old place of nasties.
Just to stay alive. Yeah, just to maintain what I am. It's about 3,100. It's too much. It's too much. Say less.
This shouldn't take long.
No, I should. I should definitely do a calorie deficit. That would be a good idea. I know. I've done it before. I've done it before, dude. It worked great. I lost 20 pounds last time I did it. I just haven't done it since. Yeah. Yeah, that's why you just gotta be active. If you're active, you know. That's a great upgrade. I'm guessing you've upgraded your potions as well. It's not as much as I thought. It was only a little bit. And then annoyingly, did you have something spicy? Pepperoni's kind of spicy. Yeah, that's... Definitely don't do that. The cat licking your eye would be catastrophic. Not only for the bacteria, but for the sandpaper quality that a cat's tongue has. You will not be fine. You will definitely get an infection if you let a cat lick your eyeball. I'm just killing wave after wave of enemies. That's fine with me. Let's go. Is that a dragon? Let's go. What is it? Fuck that up. Sorry, I'm fighting a dragon, and I just countered it perfectly. Oh, it's so sick. You're talking last night? You're talking about last night, my friend. Dude, landing the Rook's Gambit is so good. I need to heal. Real bad. Oh, not that ability. Never that ability. Ow, not that either. I'm sorry, Torgal just like casts magic now, it seems. I totally fucked that fight up, but you know, I didn't die. Yeah, like Torgal didn't like jump at the enemy. I just saw him like cast. It wasn't cure because he wasn't casting cure on me. He would
That
just
should
like
do it.
shot a little bit of magic out of his mouth.
You made short work of that lot. Thank you, son. Now my folks can rest in peace once more.
How long is it since the village was abandoned?
They're not the same, but yeah, they're both measures of energy.
Oh, people started packing their things after the duchy fell.
It's
Between
just
the blight,
yeah.
the
Well,
Imperials,
technically they're
there's nothing they
kilocalories,
gave
so right, like we call them calories, but they're
Been
actually
nigh on a decade
kilocalories.
since the last wagon left.
We'll just add 3 zeros.
Or it may as well have been a century. Looking at the place. This isn't the Cressida I remember.
I'm sorry.
A gigajoule would be just 1,000
Can't
kilojoules,
live in
right?
the past, no matter how nice it might have been. Soon as I'm done saying a prayer for those that raised me, it's onto your hideaway. I'll meet you there.
Oh, it would go kill a giga, or kill a giga, yeah, kill a mega giga. Yeah, so it'd be a lot.
That should take care of Mid's little list. Better head back before she...
I know that because of if you have an earthquake. You localize your own stomach. I like the block. That's it is negative calories technically, doesn't it? If you drink cold water, you'll have to warm it up, and if you drink hot water, it'll actually make you sweat, right?
Is there anything else?
American. Uh-huh. There are, like, quote unquote, I'm going to use the term therapy, because it's not a therapy, though, but that is what they would call them, where they literally just hold really cold things against, like, fat deposits on your body, like around your stomach or your arms or something, to try and target. So the idea is that it, like, if you freeze the ice, or sorry, freeze the fat deposit, it will basically die and you'll just shit it out. Yeah. Yeah, because you can damage other things, right? Like, oh, I need to damage the fat store, like, which are, living body cells, but there are cells in between there. Oh, yeah. If we could just turn on vitamin C production in humans, because humans. Yeah, that's why we have liposuction, because once you have a cell in your body, that's why it's so hard to. It's funny because like it's kind of easy to build fat cells, but it's hard to build muscle cells. But like, what's the great thing about like once you build up those muscle cells, they don't go away either. They just, yeah, and you reinflate them. Yeah, I'm in a spot that is definitely a boss fight. I'm sure I've done a boss fight here, but ain't nothing here right now. Yeah, you can tell they're boss fights. I love it though. Honestly, dude, like I don't think a lot of people will even realize when you do certain missions, like when you went to do the second crystal, that like Final Fantasy One, I keep calling them dungeons because that's what they're like in Final Fantasy One. It's like you just entered a dungeon, but in Final Fantasy One, you could leave them a lot of the time. Sometimes you couldn't. But I fucking love that. It's just like it's essentially a dungeon. Like you got to clear the whole thing, man. You got to finish it. I just I don't know. I don't think there's a lot about this game that I haven't liked so far. Like I've liked all their decisions, except for some of the sword designs. To be fair, but so like an ocean or like a big lake, because if you just if you just put Niagara Falls into the Grand Canyon, you would just have a big lake. I'm in a big lake. You start like
Visiting hours are over.
the base is at a big lake though. If I had a camera, I'd spike it right now. It's Jim the camera. I like that. So there's two parts to this question. One, are you just trying to get me to tell the James and Elise Willems story? And two, and two, it's a good story. Um, just any story that makes me sound like an idiot is a good story. Um, and two, I like that we've like wrapped back around where like selfies are falling away and we're having people take photos of each other again. And and woofs and barks and growls. He's a subwoofer.
All right, Clive. You've all done then.
I am. I've placed your various orders, and a carpenter by the name of Bernard is on his way from Martha's Rest.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Clive.
Is there
To be fair, wolves don't live that long either, but
anything else you need?
Nope. Blackthorn and Lady Karen have already sent over everything I asked for, and I've got all my plans drawn up. So as soon as Bernard gets here, we can get to work. I can't wait.
bigger, honestly. Because Clive's probably like 6'2". I think so, yeah. Oh, you think I'm taller than Clive?
That's my good deed for the day.
I guess so, yeah, because I'm sitting next
See
to
how
Mid,
tall's
and she's
today.
probably pretty short. Yeah, I guess he is pretty short. He's 30, I think, in this part of the game. I know that, or maybe he's a little older, because Jill is 30 after the second time skip.
Ah, Clive.
But I think he might be a little older than Jill.
How's
He might be
Jill?
like 2 or 3 years older.
Recovering, but she still needs her rest.
Of course. Take good care of her, won't you?
I'll do my best. Oh, Gav was looking for you.
He's
Said he had
Googling his
something
height.
to show you in the shelves.
The shelves. Oh, that's right. He went to ask Hippocrates about Torgor. He must have found something.
Dude, a lot of people are asking this question, eh?
Don't keep Gav waiting. He seemed excited.
Oh, I get to talk to Gav. My like third favorite character. Well, maybe they're like it's like the microverse, so they're actually really tiny.
Do you have a moment, Sid? A team of curse breakers has gone missing near Northreach.
Which team?
Coles. They were sent to liberate a carriage of bearers before they could be smuggled to market. They were moving in for their assault when the carriage was attacked by goblins.
Oh, you have to go kill goblins? You
The
know I like killing
Icebreaker managed
goblins.
to release the Stolas amid the confusion, but this was days ago. They should be back by now, but I've heard nothing.
Would you rather have a face tattoo or the scar these people have?
They know the work is dangerous. But I'm sure
I think I kind of prefer the tattoo, to be
What if
honest.
I've got them all killed? Before they go out, I always remind them why we're doing this, what they escaped, and what we're freeing people from. But I never really thought how my words might affect them. What risks they might take because of the things I've said.
I'll go and find them.
Well, they didn't run out of food because they conquered that next area, though. That
I'm sorry.
they were, but then they conquered that area, and then they
The
didn't.
plan was to intercept the slaver somewhere in the dragon's eyrie. I can't tell you much.
I haven't had that cutscene actually.
That should be enough to go on. If they were there, Torgal will track them down.
I also expect that a lot of people died when the crystal, because they killed a lot of bear. We know they killed a lot of bears. I can search the dragon area. Talk to Gav. I think I'll search the dragon area. That's the wrong button. Do I want to go to Northreach or do I want to go to the Dragon's area? I guess I go to the Dragon's area because that's right next to the thing. I hope I kill a dragon. Everybody knows how much I like slaying dragons. Well, there's lots of dragons to kill here too. There's that great open world music here. This is where all the air elementals were before. These are wolf hounds, which are actually worse than wolves in a lot of sense. Because in real life, wolves are wary of humans. But if a dog and a wolf mate, apparently, it just makes the wolves go, humans are fine, you can kill them.
Cole, I'm glad you're in one piece.
Just about. Sid, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing here?
Doris sent me to find you. She hasn't heard anything since the attack. She's been worried about you.
I sent a runner to the Dame in Northreach. The hideaway should have learned of our survival yesterday.
Well, I'm here now. And it looks like you freed the bearers.
Only some. The rest locked themselves in the slaver's carriage rather than fleeing when they had the chance. I want to help them, Sid. But we're barely in any state to protect those few we did save.
You made the right decision. Now where's the carriage?
The goblins may still be out there.
You have duties to attend to here. See to the injured. I'll handle the rest.
All right. Just follow the path to the south. You'll come across the carriage soon enough. And please, hurry. If the beastmen get to those bearers, the poor souls will be eaten alive.
I won't let that happen.
Thank you. And Sid, it's good to see you.
Don't thank me, just
Alrighty.
yet.
Fair enough. Take care. I'll be on tomorrow.
They're trying to get into the carriage.
Tuesday? Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a big boy. I'm in the middle of a fight right now. 31. I'm fighting a big-ass bruiser. Why didn't that trigger that ability? That's really annoying.
Thanks, boy.
1867. No, 1876, sorry. I always say it backwards. I think so, yeah, because we just had 150 years a couple years ago. And you guys are at 250. Technically speaking, it was the British North America Act, and that's when we got to. It's not really like self-government. If you really want to talk about when we probably became a country, it was 1987. Yeah, it's the British North America Act. All right. Working on it. Oh, what the fuck was that? Well, that explains a lot. How did that just hit me? I am rusty. I haven't played for 2 days and this is so bad I am. That's bad.
Who are you? A friend. Are there any more survivors? Why didn't you flee with the others? If the goblins had made it through that door, you wouldn't have stood a chance.
Why should we run? One miserable death's no worse than another.
Perhaps. But we're here to give you another choice. Freedom, safety.
A miserable
A
life.
life you've been denied. Come with us. Let us protect you.
Sid, I couldn't just let you... You weren't too late then. Thank the gods.
This man risked his life to save yours. To give you a second chance.
Fine. Do with us what you will.
What we'll do with you is take you to safety. After that, it's up to you. Your lives are your own now.
You can leave the rest to us, Sid. We'll get everyone back to the hideaway.
Thank you. I'll let Doris know we're expecting new arrivals.
Nice.
The little uns have been up to their old tricks again.
Sid, welcome back. A Stolas from the Dame arrived not long after you left. If I'd just waited a little longer, I might have been able to deal with things myself. Or maybe I wouldn't. I keep making the wrong decisions.
Cole and the others got home safely. You made exactly the right decision.
No, I was lucky. I've been tracking that slaver for months, and then I sent Cole and you after them woefully unprepared. What kind of leader sends people into danger without considering all the risks? I should have urged greater caution, told Cole to be wary, to pull back at the first sign of trouble.
We swore the same oath as you, Doris.
It's good to see you safe and well, Cole. I'm sorry.
With all due respect, we Cursebreakers don't risk our lives because you commanded of us. We risk them because we believe in our cause. No one with doubts ever joins our ranks. The agony of removing the brand more than sees to that.
We all know how much bravery that takes.
Cole, I never doubted your courage. Only my ability to see it put to good use. thank you for your faith in me. I'm not sure I deserve it. I sometimes wonder if I might prefer to risk death alongside the others than ask it of them. But I'm a curse breaker. I swore an oath too. I have a role to play, and I must trust that I'm the right one to play it.
You will. In time.
Oh, did I level? Yeah, I did. Nice. 32. That's pretty good. I quite like Rising Flames. Haven't used it for a while, but I think it's 3 damage. Yeah, it's kind of bad compared to some other things, but it probably has a really short... I mean, if it told you the cooldowns, that'd probably be helpful. Because right now the internet's probably just spending a lot of their time figuring that. Oh, there's another quest in there.
You have the look of a man with the twins upon his shoulders, Rodrigue.
Talia has tasked me with removing a curse breaker's brand. But it's my first time, and I don't think I can do it. I'm afraid of what happens if I fail. You survived, I know, but here as many die as recover. Is it really worth the risk?
You don't need me to answer that. You know full well what we're fighting for. I hope as much as you that one day bearers can walk among others as equals. But until that day, a brand is a burden, and we must lift that burden in order to go undetected. The operation may be dangerous, but it's also essential, and we undergo it willingly.
I know. I still wish there was some other way. But griping about my lot helps no one, I suppose. Don't worry. I'll do what must be done.
I know you will.
Unfortunately, the first thing that needs doing is the preparation of a draft to dull the pain. Something I can't do with the infirmary's ammonia supply so low. What few leaves we have would barely be enough for removing a splinter, let alone a brand.
Just tell me what you need.
You'll go? Oh, thank you. No one knows Herblot like Talia, and she swears by ammonia for easing pain. It's simple enough to find, if you know where to look.
If you know where to
Fortunately
look.
for you, I do. Along the river near the village of Amber over in Rosaria. Just search for the bright blue blossoms.
Let's get some potions or whatever.
The river was easy enough to find. Now for those herbs. Don't get surrounded.
Oh my god, that thing's... huge fan of wind up, to be honest. What is it? This is. Oh, but it is. Well, it does a lot of damage. I mean, ideally, I would get this anyway, wouldn't I? Earth and Fury. In precise execution, holding the increase punch force, releasing the button or the markers rather than maximize is called the precision. Okay. This can block an incoming attack. Oh, this one can block an attack. Okay. I mean, I like this. I like this. I'm not a huge fan of wind up. Maybe I can. 1300, eh? 3 and 3. I don't quite have enough for this right now, so. This is dealing damage on enemies. Holding the execute button increases the attack force. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll just use it for now. Alright, I'm looking for blue flowers.
This is the only plant around here with blue flowers. I hope it's the right one. Should be enough to keep the infirmary stocked for a while. Hopefully this will put Rodriguez's mind at ease.
The little ones have been up to their old tricks again.
I hope you didn't have too much trouble finding the ammonia.
Only the usual.
Oh, yes. This is it. And more than I was expecting. I dare say the patient won't feel a thing. That is, unless I...
You'll do fine. Talia trusts you. Which means I trust you. The hideaway would be lost without skilled physicers like yourself.
Thank you for the kind words. Truly. But... I'm sorry. I'm still terrified. The brand is more than just ink on flesh. It's a death sentence. Milk of the wyvern tail lurking just below the surface of the skin. One ill-conceived incision, a single slip, and the poison fouls the patient's blood. Failure means death, and even success means tremendous pain. Days of agony as the wound heals. I became a physiker to help people, not to kill them. I don't want to kill anyone.
Cursebreakers lead hard lives. And the operation is only the beginning. They toil in the shadows, risking life and limb, knowing their efforts will win them neither glory nor acclaim. And yet we never won for volunteers. Why do you think that is?
Conviction? They're willing to die?
They're willing to fight. To give their lives to create a world where people like us can be more than mere possessions. I know your work isn't easy. But neither is going under the knife. Be a shoulder for your patients to lean on. Stay strong for them.
You sound like Tyre. Do you know what she once told me? It's natural for a patient to feel like they're suffering in solitude. And it's a physicist's duty to see that they don't. Thank you for helping me remember that. I won't falter. Not again.
I think we're 2 renown away from the next unlock, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah. What's everyone
Sorry, 5 renown away.
Boy soldiers with
Clive, where have you been? I've been wanting to ask you something about Torgal. Where did you get him, like, in the first place?
My father brought him back from one of his expeditions into the Northern Territories. They were crossing a snowfield when they heard his cries, and seeing no sign of his pack, they took him in.
What do you reckon, Tomes?
It certainly adds weight to the theory. Clive, I believe that Torgal may be no mere hound, but a rare frostwolf, an animal native to the far northern reaches of Valisthea. In one of our oldest bestiaries, I found reference to a frostwolf who served as guardian to an ancient queen of the north. Such was his mastery over ether, he could cast magics on command. His name was Fenrir.
Fenrir the Frostwolf.
Now, the annals do not state it explicitly, but I have reason to believe this queen was a dominant of Shiva, a girl from the Northern Territories and her faithful hound.
So Jill.
One awakens as the dominant of Shiva, and the other...
You're saying that Jill granted Torgal his powers?
What?
Just like Fenrir. People called him my hound, but Torgal and Jill were inseparable. He grew up as a faithful companion to the dominant of Shiva, and years later, his powers awakened, just when his master needed him the most.
You're right. If it weren't for Torgal blasting those bastards to Kingdom Come, Jill would have been for it.
Quite. Though Torgal's power is his own, his latent birthright as a Frostwolf, it had only to be unlocked.
Oh, get you, Torgal.
You're an even finer hound than we thought.
And regarding your original concern, you need not fear for Torgal's health. Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
What? You're gonna have to say
There
that
you are!
again.
I've been looking everywhere for you. Bernard's here. I need you to introduce us so we can get to work.
I shall be a moment.
Sometime later. This is a workshop now.
Isn't it brilliant?
It is.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You and everyone else. But I promise I'll pay you back. I'm gonna work my fingers to the bone for you lot. Starting right now. Just you wait. I'll make wonders like this world's never seen.
Then I look forward to seeing them. Now that that's settled, I wonder if Vivian's made any progress tracking down Kupka.
Thanks for letting me do this, Clive. I'll pay you back, I promise.
What the fuck is going in here?
We have everything we need to begin work in earnest.
And work in earnest we shall!
Work on what?
Thanks for before, son. That was a good deed you did me. Only right I do you one in return. Though I did wonder if I'd bit off more than I could chew when Mid showed me her plans for the place. If she hadn't been there to tell me what to do, I wouldn't have known where to start.
There's a lot of lumber.
I wish Miss Midador would let us help her with her dungeoneering. I wonder what she's going to dungeoneer next.
Let's go and ask her.
Yeah, go and ask her, kids.
I think I'll wait till Mid's away to take a tour of her dungeon.
Wait, oh, this, okay, so it's up here.
Blackthorn may be the manliest of men, but he does lack a certain tenderness. Goots, meanwhile, is as burly as a behemoth, but as innocent as a babe in arms.
I regret asking.
How goes the hunt for Kupka?
Largely in circles. We have myriad sightings of strange soldiers in unexpected places, but nothing definitive as yet. If only we knew for certain by what route he left Rosalith.
Well, keep at it. If anyone can piece this puzzle together, it's you. And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
What? Here?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't inherit your father's throne. Your poor people would surely live in fear of you.
You have nothing to worry about on that front. I won't be claiming his crown.
That is a relief.
Clive, have you got a minute? We, have a guest.
A guest?
For your trouble.
It was a
Oh my
pleasure,
God.
in hindsight.
Uncle.
Uncle Byron? Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens for your favourite uncle is here!
The Dalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dalmecs empty their treasuries for us.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
The Empire owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Okay, who are we talking to here? Okay. Twin said the former capital of the crystals remained after unilateral merger with the whole it became the imperial capital. Yeah, because their capital was all messed up after we were done with it. That's the 5 cardinals. Olivier, Hugo, Annabelle, okay.
Very good.
Is he drunk?
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dalmex will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fist will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can. And once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, there would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmex to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan, it is not to be.
And what of your subjects, Your Radiance? If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
Prepare for battle.
But sire...
Do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
If that is your wish, Your Radiance, I shall depart at once. May Gregor forgive you.
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, Your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
She's just the worst, isn't she?
What on earth is Uncle Byron doing here? Only one way to find out.
The little ones have been up to their It's just one thing after another around here.
I'm not sure what to make of that. I mean, it makes sense. If he knows where Hugo is, yeah. Hugo really fucked over the Dalmatians by chasing after Clive. But that was also Annabella's positioning. She convinced him to go out there. So she knew he would be there. I was like, why wouldn't they already have attacked then? Why wouldn't they have attacked when they knew he was in Rosalith?
Ah, my dear nephew. How I've missed you.
How did you find this place, Uncle?
Through the good offices of young Sir Wade. He really is the most helpful fellow. As are you, I hear. The Guardians and those they freed tell the most outlandish tales of your heroics in Rosalith. Which is why I came, to learn the full truth of the matter. Sort the fact from the fiction, so to speak.
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people of Rosalith to Port Isolde.
I was, aye.
Then I have questions for you. Please, come inside, Uncle.
Gladly. You there?
Gov.
There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's coffers, would you?
2,000?
I should have screenshotted that. That was great.
And I'm afraid that is all I know.
A fleet sailing south past Port Isolde. Most intriguing.
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kupka withdrew wounded from Rosalith. Still less that my own nephew dealt the decisive blow.
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dalmekian fleet and recent reports of the Royalists' movements, that the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. Come here and I'll show you.
Here we go.
It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly her Royal Navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Einherjar, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry.
Einherjar, isn't that... Isn't that like a special horse? Army of one, those who fight alone. Yeah, those who are brought to Valhalla. Okay, yeah. I knew I'd recognize that.
A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash. Yes, it seems safe to assume that the Royalists did indeed enter Rosaria from the sea. So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts.
You mean regrow his fucking hands that I cut off?
An arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him? To load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance.
Or do they go overland?
No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert.
Okay, so Annabella, Clive's mother, the current empress of, I forget what it's called, the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, colluded with Hugo to go to Rosalith. So that means the Empire's forces could attack where Hugo wasn't, going into Dalmekia. Meanwhile, the people from Wallowed could grab Kupka and bring him back home, because he doesn't seem loyal to Dalmekia anymore, but he also seems to think that he'll be emperor. I think that's what Annabelle's basically promised him, is that he'll be the emperor. But obviously that's not, her end goal, because she wants her son to be the emperor, her new son. Or maybe she just promised him revenge. But that would mean everything's going to fall. Like, the idea, obviously, is for the Empire to rule everything, right? They've got Rosaria, they've got the Empire, they've got the Crystalline Dominion, which was previously neutral. They're about to take Dalmekia. If they take Dalmekia, the only thing that's left is the Kingdom of Wallowed.
And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
Well, what about your own life? Why mine?
So it was the Waludas who spirited the wretch away.
The Royalists.
Now I think about it, there was something a little strange about the ships I saw. The men seemed almost crestfallen, as if in mourning, as if they believed, or were made to believe, that their master was dead.
You have a keen mind, Lord Rosfield. And you have your answer. To find Kupka, you have merely to follow the Royalist trail across the Velcroy. It may well have gone cold by now, but as they say in the Republic, all roads lead to Drake's Fang.
Allow me to accompany you part of the way. As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on business after visiting you here. The Fang would be but a short detour.
I'd be glad of the company. Give me a moment to make ready. I need to tell my friends what we've learned, and where we're going.
Very well, but be quick about it, my boy. Time waits for no man.
Did he just smile? I haven't smiled for a while.
My favorite pupil.
Favorite, you say?
Lord Byron Rosfield.
Of the 7 high houses, protector of Isolde, that your uncle knows. He was an adventurous soul, and journeying along to the secret lair of the villainous Cid the Outlaw would certainly seem to give truth to such rumors. He would make a valuable ally and a generous one, I hope, and his connections among the nobility would surely prove useful. Perhaps we will soon be inviting the heads of the remaining high houses to a grand soiree here in the hideaway. I must practice my steps.
We met under curious circumstances.
I think it is fair to say it was during my time at the university. I had returned to my lecture hall to collect some notes and discovered Mid crouched into the lecture sketching some design or other by candlelight. It transpired that she had fashioned a key and had been using my classroom as her own secret study. These require refuge from overzealous tutors and the like. I insisted she leave, but being mid, she refused to take no for an answer, and before I knew it, I had not only allowed her to continue her late-night studies, but agreed to take her on as a pupil in the bargain. Though I soon wished I hadn't, her refusal to defer to authority was no less evident in my lectures. Was this my reward for years of painstaking study, I wondered? To be teased and tormented by some oil-stained stripling who seemed to delight in my discomfort? Our time together was not entirely disagreeable, not least because it was she who unearthed the plot against my life and encouraged you to come and whisk me away to safety. So I came to take refuge in your base of operations just as she once did in mine. Well, that's very nice.
What is it that you wish to learn?
Of course.
Oh, it's gotten very complicated indeed. And now we know. There's so much more mirror. Honey is a rare frost wolf imbued with sorcerer strength. To call upon and defend its allies in times of crisis. Yeah, he's pretty fucking cool. A lot of people in my hideaway now. Anybody new in the hideaway? No. Bets. Oh wow, that's a term I wouldn't have expected. You know what though? I see a lot of terms that you don't often see anymore. Why is Ambrosia blacked out like that? Like grayed out? Ambrosia's alive, unless. No, I'm pretty sure the beaks. Oh, the armistice. The High Cardinal secretly backs, applauds achievements. Jesus. He mistrusts his father, and he mistrusts him. And, of course, Mother is manipulating Hugo Kupka. Right. Okay.
One must understand one's place in the world.
So these guys all assaulted here after we took care of that thing. Wait, who's that with me? Oh, it's Gav. Okay. Leverage hideaway and tests his hideaway allies, tracking down Kupka with a little help from Uncle Byron. Drake's Fang. And where were we before? We were in Mandela, not Drake's Fang. Oh, am I going to take out that crystal now too?
Thus ends today's lesson.
Because I'm ready to take out another crystal, you know? How much money do I have? $39,000. Okay, I gotta buy some potions.
The little ones have been up to their old tricks again.
Who's this blue bloke?
Family, more likely. I heard tell he's highborn.
What do you reckon Mid's going to make next? And what can I do for you? You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here.
We have black blood. Maybe we can sell. Yeah, we do.
I reckon I can find a buyer.
Killbug.
You got out else?
That's a. Is it really, yeah, that would probably be good to take, but I actually probably don't
Come
need.
again.
I probably don't need the one that gives me AP on anymore because these are all maxed. Right, this is max. I don't use any of these unless I just go for all these abilities and just be utterly broken. We are using Judgment Bolt, aren't we? We are. We just haven't upgraded it. Okay. Yeah, because that one stops time. $13.89. Yeah, so we're a little short still. Okay. And this is the only one we use here is Rook's Gambit. Rook's Gambit. I suppose I could not use it at this point and probably save myself a lot of gil. And then I'd get an ability here back. I quite like Rook's Gambit, to be honest, though. It seems to do a lot.
Oh,
That's
don't.
fine.
I'm
Okay.
either way.
Where are they? Oh, they're just at the mess. Okay. We were going to go check the blacksmith. And that's what I forgot to do.
Sid's going to find Cooker.
Back, are you? What do you want?
No, we still can't make this, huh? Yeah. Man, none of these are as good. Yeah. Grindstone's just 5 better. Platinum Sword looks cooler, though.
And?
What do you reckon Mid's going to make next? A bigger water?
We're still in the bolts from the blue chapter?
Mid's
Wow.
finished outfitting her little workshop, I hear. With a little help from Sid, of course.
Otto, Kupka's at Drake's Fang. I'll be leaving before sunset.
You're not going in there alone, are you?
Don't worry. I'm not going there to destroy the Mother Crystal. All I'm after is Kupka's head. I won't risk any more than I have to. I promise.
The Lancer and the Fang are all Kupka's personal fiefdom. You have any trouble on the way, you ask for Rosina Dalamil. Some call her the Desert Hare.
Who is she?
An old associate of Sid's, and only Sid's. All I know is the name, and that they used to meet at the Dalamil Inn. We've heard nothing from her since he died. But I'm thinking maybe the new Sid might be able to bring her back into the fold.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
So, what about your uncle? I mean, he's welcome to stay, but...
Don't look so worried. He'll be coming with me.
Thank fuck for that.
Gav, Otto, I'm leaving you two in charge.
You can count on us. I heard they called Rosina the Desert Hare
on account of how little escapes her ears. That... What's wrong, Gav?
It's this gold your uncle gave us. Are you sure it's all right for us to take it?
My uncle isn't easily refused, especially where dispersing his wealth is concerned.
But 2,000 talents. I don't even know how much that is in Gil.
It's the price of a quayside mansion in the Crystalline Dominion. He sold one to fund our endeavor. He was hoping to part with it anyway, what with war brewing in the region. And luckily for him, a Sambraquan noble was willing to pay over the odds for a foothold in the Holy Emperor's neighborhood.
But still, 2,000 talents? I mean, is it normal for nobles to give away that kind of money?
It's normal for my uncle.
Fuck me. Oh, the other half live here?
Well, now that we've got a few gil to rub together, do you think it'd be all right if I splashed out on a few bottles of Lost Wing's finest?
Here, leave some for the rest of us, Otto. If he's filling his cellar, I'm filling our larder, starting with a barrel of the best salt-cured Norfolk salmon.
I'll leave you to decide how best to use it.
Yeah, it'll do that if you open up Discord when you're on your PlayStation. That's funny.
All right, Uncle. I'm ready to depart. Shall we?
We shall.
Byron and I are going
Let us
to
away to adventure.
Drake's Fang. A new area. I've never been here before. The Velcroy Desert. There's a mark in the region. Wait a minute. Is it attached to something else? Oh, I can't look. Okay. Well. Do you want me to disconnect you? Yeah. I thought you left. I thought you'd... Oh, I feel like that was only like 15 minutes ago. All right. Is my uncle?
I was a young man when last I walked this path. There's an old trading post not far from here. The road to Drake's Fang leads through it.
So I'm with my uncle, and in the desert, Byron, and he's got an axe, the Riddle of the Sands, and I had a conversation about Torgal and how he's a frost wolf. He's like the reincarnation of Fenrir. But he's Fenrir. Like he's not just any wolf.
Our destination lies over that dune, beyond the ruins.
It's a special big boy wolf.
Clive. It's all too easy to lose one's bearings in the sands.
Now I'm fighting scorpions. A wild knack. I like that. Uh-huh. Brilliant. I want to get rid of wind up. I'm going to save up and I'm going to get the better. I don't act well. I could get Phoenix, but Flames of Rebirth. But I was thinking I'd grab Earth and Fury because it's 4 and 2, which is very good. Because I don't want Aerial Blast. That's 3 and 3. Well, one of the reasons I want to like pick something like that is I want to get rid of my. I don't now that I have like basically everything I want, right? Why would I still walk around using the Wages of Warcraft to give me 20% more AP, right? Like I'd like to stop using that. Yeah, but you can't have all of them. I don't think I want to play the game and just have like Flames of Rebirth and Aerial Blast and Judgment Bolt and like just have all the alts. That's what I do. I just take away the things I literally don't have anymore and then put the points somewhere else. I don't know. It just seems like I could have another item on instead of this thing, like something that would maybe reduce, like something that would reduce the cooldown of Flames or of Rebirth by 12 seconds. I'm honestly considering just switching back to the Platinum Sword just because I think it looks better. It's only 5 less damage, right? Like, I'm so over leveled at the moment. I'm 32, by the way. I just leveled up a couple minutes ago. Yeah. I've used it fully upgraded before. It's good. Did you master it? You don't need to master things, you know? Because mastery only allows you to move it to something else. It doesn't actually improve it. At least that's... Do you have to master all of them for the Platinum? Is that what you're getting at? I see. I just got the Mithril belt finally, because I have the Mithril wristlets, and it's worse than the Drake Slayer belt. So... But I can understand. But if you don't do the side quests, you don't get the Drake Slayer belt, so... And if you don't look, you wouldn't even have the Mithril belt. I'd be using, like, the Hunter's Waistcloth, probably. Maybe the Platinum belt. Not that I can make yet, no. The Platinum belt is before it, and... The Platinum belt is worse than the Hunter's Waistcloth, yeah. Yeah, I haven't upgraded the Hunter's Waistcloth. Like, I have a bunch of stuff that I just ended up making, like, a bunch of things. Like, I have a second Platinum Sword. Like, I have my +2 Platinum Sword, and I have a regular Platinum Sword, because I bought and made one by accident. I didn't mean to, yeah. Just wasted materials, but whatever. I mean, that's what you would do if we were playing D&D.
I can't see a
thing. That's the idea.
Let us turn back before we lose our way.
He was, yeah, but the idea was like he's basically the Green Knight. He was the Knight of the Green. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. He was the one who, the guy who always came back to life, except you realize he wasn't coming back to life, he was being cloned. Because you fought 2 of them in the final battle. Yeah, no, I'm saying, but Liam, that guy killed Liam Roseworth's family, though. Yeah, there was a whole conversation about it. That's why, because people were talking about whatever, and they were like, "Why does Liam want to go?" And Liam was like, "This motherfucker killed my entire family. He's the reason." He's like, "I'm an orphan, and he's the reason I became a knight in the first place." Because Liam, I want to get rid of wind up too. I don't like it. I just got 2 goblin coins. Nice. No, I don't. I'm not a fan. I don't like holding it. I'd rather just instantly use something like Ramu's Judgment Bolt. I know. Well, I also play the counter as well. Like, oh, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just don't like. It's not my style. Like having to hold and like do a precision thing like that. I'd rather just. I like the other one. I like Raging Fists. I don't like Wind Up. Wind Up's the one you have to hold and let go. Oh, there's more Ifrit wheels? Cool. Good. I'm glad, because I don't... But, well, do they? Did you test it? I just feel that, the wine... No, I read it, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's not... I said something else wrong. Great. Like, I've said so many things wrong. I really like Raging Fist. Okay, correct. Byron, yeah. Yeah. I'm working my way there right now, actually. Yeah, I figured. Easy mark, you know I'm into that. Yeah, I'd have to go back, yeah. Well, because I noticed that in the menu, it says, hey, there's a bounty here. And I'm like, okay, but it didn't show me that before. Yeah, if you hit square, there's a dragon here called the Salamander. That's, an elemental name, okay. Ow, I'm on fire, Is the melee attack time, or what? You gonna melee attack me? No, I fucked up the timing anyway. Fucked up that timing too. Good job, dude. That was good, though. Now get out of the fire.
Help me, boy. Well done, Torgo.
Oh, dude, getting a perfect counter on Heat Wave is great. Mm-hmm.
Help me, boy.
Oh, I found another one of the stones. I found the Hand of the Titan. What's that called? That's Serotina. I'm just gonna fast travel back to the obelisk. Yeah, this area may not be great for my fighting style, but whatever. Yeah, I think I'm like a halfway to level again, so it's pretty good.
All yours, Torgal.
I think it was last week. I went on a President of the United States of America kick. Great
Many years
band.
ago, when you were just a boy, you and I rode this way together, accompanying your father on a scouting expedition to Drake's Valley.
God, Peaches is very good.
I'm not surprised you don't remember. It was
I
just
do
before
like it a
Joshua
lot.
was born. You were so eager to be there.
I mean, everybody knows Lump.
That you whipped your chocobo too hard on the journey home and fell from the saddle. I shall never forget how Elwyn fussed over you as you sat in the sand, bawling like a babe.
What's unfortunate is that, like most people, pretty much only care about the first album. Ladybug's good. That might be my favorite Little Dune Buggy. I'm sure I listened to it, but I can't remember it right now. That's kind of sad. Britta's a B. Getting rid of Britta. She's a GDB. She's a GDB. Little Dune Buggy. You know what? They're from your state. Yeah, they're from Seattle. It's good, but I don't think their version is. You know what it is? Boll Weevil is my favorite. That's the one. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. His name's Boll Weevil. Check him out. He spends all day on his big butt, and he don't ever go outside. I come to visit. They made 2. Yeah. Yeah, Matt Holm directed them. Yeah. I keep making the mistake of every once in a while just like looking up what if anything's changed for anybody, and it's yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, even the new content from certain people is now taken down because they're so poisonous. It's yeah, it's bad.
Have you lost your way already, my boy?
Mile keeps telling me to go somewhere else, but I'm going somewhere else. See, you got a chocobo. No, I got a chocobo, and we both have chocobos.
Run like the wind.
This is the space where it's good because there's not creatures every 5 feet like everywhere else. You actually have to go somewhere here. So what is this called? The Bandit's Bed. Well, hopefully there are bandits here. Give me something to shoot.
Be safe.
We got a gill bug. You know, we like gill bugs. We take those here. Do you know where that bit sort of comes from, that we count those? So there's an episode of 30 Rock where the page, right, he goes, oh, I only vote for God. And then Jack Donaghy goes, we count those. Those are Republican votes. Yeah. Fast to Callan? I'm fighting the Adamantoids. Oh, that was the wrong ability.
Well, Clive.
Yeah.
It looks like you're gonna need me a bigger sword.
Funny. His name's Bull Weevil. Check him out. He spends all day on his big butt, and he don't ever go outside. I come to visit. Come on, attack me. Well, that's not what I wanted. Nice. I love that I'm just punching a turtle with my big turtle punching hand. Oh, that's the wrong ability. What do I think about what? Oh, it definitely just tastes like ostrich. Of course it tastes like ostrich. Like big chicken. Well, we're of one mind about this, you know? Oh, dude, I did the counter with the Raging Fist, and I got Hunter. I just did the counter attack with the fist, and I did 120 hits with it. 120 hits is 100. There's 120 combo. Well, luckily I'm streaming, so you can. No. I was hoping that was going to be the fight I was doing, but it wasn't. Oh my god, I can't believe that just... Every once in a while you do like a single ranged attack and that staggers the enemy and it always feels like such a cheap victory to me.
Soil and stone.
Aw, it didn't work out. Dude, it's so satisfying to me to get counters on them. It's just, I swear to God, it does more damage. I'm sure the math would back me up, but I got the Scarletite I needed. Yes, I just needed one more ingredient to make.
It should
I
have
just.
stayed in its shell.
Oh, nice. It should have stayed in its shell. That's sick, Clive. That's good. Good. That's right. You tell that turret who's boss. Yep. Yeah, but I'm your Huckleberry, so you know that though, right? She knows that I'm your Huckleberry, right? Is Huckleberry a racist term? Is Huckleberry Finn racist? Is Mark Twain racist? I don't actually. I don't. He's considered the great American. I guess that makes sense. Never mind. What's the other one? No. I mean, I like Poe. He was very racist. But no. Who's the other one? Who's the other novelist? The guy who wrote like Moby Dick. The artist Moby, like the guy who did Strange Ways, like from the Jason Bourne movies. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he's huge, right? He was a sailor, so almost certainly, yeah. Oh my god. Dude, I just punched a chocobo with the fist ability, with the raging fist, and I hit it in the butthole every time. It looks like I was just trying to fist a fucking bird to death. It was terrible. And it's cloaca. A 100%. You know, like Tolkien. No, he wasn't. He was a raging Catholic, is what he was. Oh my god, that was amazing. You know, orcs weren't like the orcs aren't a race. Orcs are just assholes. Even there's the line where he says that. There's a line where he says that in one of his correspondences or an interview or something. He explained that orcs are like, you know, people who drive by on really loud motorcycles. He's like, that's an orc. He's like, just annoying people are orcs. He's saying orcs are just annoying people that you know. God damn it. Does that prevent you from joining the U.S. military? Because any colorblind prevents you from joining in Canada. And also being regular blind, if you weren't aware. Yeah. Yeah. I actually think the reason they explained, they never explained it to me. What's wrong with Anida? What's wrong with ANADA? Nothing. What's a C with you? But the reason I was sort of given was that if you lose your glasses, you have to be able to identify, friend from foe. And I'm like, yeah, that's why we wear uniforms, actually. I don't know if you're aware. Like, I'm not colorblind. I'm just regular blind, but I can tell the difference in colors. But that wasn't good enough for them, so, Here I am, just a normal man, just an innocent man. We're just normal men. Just innocent men. I did it again! It just looks like I'm punching this chocobo. The cloaca. Yo, I got 1,500. Oh, maybe I can get rid of Wind-Up then and take... Yes, I can. I can now take Earth and Fury. But the question is, do I actually want Earth and Fury? Because if I stop using Rook's Gambit... I can take... I'm using that. Because I actually don't use the Titan block enough, but I quite like it. Because to be fair, if you land the Raging Fist, it's so much better. But let's get Earth and Fury. How much is the upgrade? A lot. How did you like Lightning Rod? Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah, you seem to actually have to use the taunt. I might go back into Pile Drive. I thought Pile Drive was really good. Yeah, it's really good. The AoE. Lightning. I mean, how is it? It bothers me that it's like, I don't know, because it's 3-star damage and 3-star stagger, right? And Thunderstorm is 3-star damage and 2-star, but like I think Thunderstorm is just more hits on a single target. What almighty. Are we friends? No. Oh, okay. Backup food. You're the backup human. Oh, Raging Fist is 3 and 3, and this is 3 and 2. Part of me wants to go back to Rising Flames. Rising Flames was great. I don't know. I got 1,300 right now, but I can't. I'm gonna try Earth and Fury for a bit and go back to, because I keep countering with other things. Like I can counter with Raging Fist instead of the cyclone now, so why would I bother with that? How dare you? On my good, clean. Well, in Canada, Prime Month is over, so, you know, you're... Well, at least this part of Canada, I should say. Because that's how time works, right? It's kind of stupid that we're just like, you know, everybody's got different time. It's a flat circle. Well, that's why they're flat. Spinnier? Oh, incorrect. No. I'm gonna message her. I'm gonna pause my stream. Sorry, stream. I'm gonna pause. Clive is just Dante. When he limit breaks, because like it's the same thing. Oh, I need to go in there. Okay. What's your favorite circle ability? Like the baseball swing? Oh, these birds are called Helldivers? That's a sick name. I'm so close to leveling, I might as well just keep killing things until I level. I'm gonna go kill those wolves. When we were playing Pathfinder the other night, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get some money and like maybe buy some armor or something. And then I tried to look at like new armor, and I was like, wow, I'm basically already wearing the best armor I can wear at this level. That's real bad. I think it's 19. I leveled up. Yes, I'm 33. It is. It's good. Well, that's without a shield, and I don't plan on using a shield because I want to keep that hand free for medicines and things like that. But like I looked at it, I was like, okay, well I can wear this armor, but it'll reduce my dex bonus by 1, and it'll decrease my speed, and has like more, more of a penalty for my my dex and strength skills, right? Armor check penalty. I was like, damn, like scale mail is just like basically, I think I'm wearing scale or something like that. I'm like, it's basically as good as it gets. That's unless I want to go into heavy and be really slow. Well, my AC is just going to go up regardless because I'm going to become more proficient with it. The reason my AC is so high is because I had 4 for my proficiency. Like, the 2 things fighters get is like just +4 AC and +4 to hit to start. It is really good instead of +2 and 2 like everybody else.
Who do you think those soldiers were in the inn?
This is a cool little area. What's this called? The Watcher. Do you know that the voice of Solid Snake wrote the X-Men, the first 2 X-Men, and the Watchmen film?
Yes. I expect that's why there's
David Hayter, yeah.
to deal with any Imperial reprisals.
Yeah. And he also wrote, because my friend was talking about Warrior Nun, and she's like, I really like that show. And I'm like, that was fucking written by... That was written by Solid Snake. Which I think is real funny.
Good girl.
David Harbour?
Fly, Ambrosia.
I like Dan Harmon. He makes Rick and Morty. He was the... Dan Harmon apologized, and okay, so the person he apologized to is a producer on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She left Community because she wanted to work on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he apologized like profusely and publicly, and she was like, I accept your apology and we're good, and that's how you apologize. Like he did everything properly basically, and like owned up to his behavior and whatever. No, but Justin Roiland was like arrested for like imprisoning someone.
Dallamil Inn. Do you know, this heat has given me quite a thirst. Quick drink before we press
And apparently like no one on Rick and Morty's seen him for like 3 years or something like that, because he was just such like a useless person. Like he just is the voice. He doesn't write. He doesn't do anything else anymore. It's just like everybody dislikes him. I have no idea. They probably will have. Dude, they've been good seasons like ever since, but
Look there.
Those are ashen steeds. No doubt about it.
Black Chocobo.
And such a long ride from Stonehair. Our Luda friends must be soothing their saddle
I didn't
sores in
like
the
my friends were like, "Oh, we love Rick and Morty," and I was like, I watched that episode, like the first 2 episodes. I'm like, this show's not good. They're like, no, you just got to give it a chance. I was like, nah, I don't like it. And then I waited, and I bought the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray. Just like fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And then I got to the Meeseeks episode, and I'm like, I love this show. I love that episode so much. It's my favorite episode, dude. Hi, Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. Existence is pain. I'm like, yeah, I get these guys. They just need to complete a task. I love how they put their hoods up in this game. They're like, we'll put our hoods up and we won't be... Yeah, they're the only people in town walking around with weapons. Yeah. Oh my god. Clive treats his sword so terribly. He just, like, sticks it into the ground. Oh my god.
Good day to you. Eating?
Sorry about my pal. He only talks when his mouth's full. What do you recommend?
Well, if you're after something light, we do a fine chocobo soup with lentils and honey.
I would eat chocobo soup with lentils and honey.
Right you are.
Hey, girl!
Coming!
Your pal? Would you rather be my squire?
I just saw one of the dumbest questions on Reddit. Has anybody else been experiencing respiratory symptoms from the wildfires? It's like, yes, everyone. That's how that works. Joshua's here. Keeps coughing up blood.
Your Grace, it is plain you are not yet well enough to travel.
That's why he's gone to the desert.
Someone who can better attend to your ills.
No, we must press on. Prince Dion has returned to his camp and will soon depart for the front.
I feel like we need a whole other game to play as Joshua to explain what the fuck's going on with him.
You do understand that?
Honestly, this game feels like instead of they couldn't have just.
You must at least agree to take your medicine. I'll fetch you some water.
I haven't played that game yet, and I know the story, but I think I want to play it. I actually think that they might have had discussions about the fact that like they literally could have had multiple point of view characters, but you'd only play because you do play very shortly as Joshua, right? Which I thought was a weird choice. Like that should have just that really should have been a cutscene, I think. But I think the idea was to show his power. Well, you also play as the Phoenix, actually, in that part of the game, too, right? Like, you play as the Phoenix. And I was like, I thought Clive is the only protagonist. And there was a part of the game I was like, you should be playing as Jill here. Like, that'd be really cool. And Clive would, like, be helping you instead.
Keep watch, they tell us. But all I see is sand.
I hear they got our guest back to the Fang without any trouble. We'll be leaving soon enough.
Why the Lord Commander dragged us all this way just to save that blockhead's skin, we'll never know. Dominant or not, he's a bloody idiot.
That'll be Cooker, then.
Well, let's get this down us. We've a long way to go.
Hey, you.
Uncle?
Sorry.
Can you walk, Your Grace?
What's wrong?
I fear trouble may be brewing downstairs.
I'm gonna do them all. You don't have to do them, dude. Yeah, but I think he said that about kids, not side quests.
You two are travelers, are you not? Me and my companions are strangers here. Perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany us a while.
Because he was on a podcast talking about how he thought like 14-year-olds were fair game.
Sorry, lads, but we've got business in Camelot.
And this is before he got in legal trouble, so.
I'm sure you could spare us an hour. Friend.
Watching my uncle just eat as much as he can. Yeah, he's like, one second. Everyone's like in shocked.
I'm afraid we don't have a moment to lose. Friend.
And he has food all over his face. That was a good kick.
Stay back, Uncle.
Gladly.
Just kicks the table over and knocks people over. That's power. Then again, he's, you know. Hey, I'm inside of a house. I better just summon all the lightning in the world. And oh, I forgot I could use this. Right, I just changed that ability. These guys are pretty high level to 28. It's been a while since I've done my aerial combo. That was fun. Ba 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 ba. So many bloody hides now. They're dead, Jim. What is it? 140? Okay. My niece and nephew are coming over tomorrow at like 9 a.m. I don't think I'll be awake. No, they won't. Actually, they're stomping might, but yeah, they'll just run around and stomp. Have you met children? They don't know how to walk around softly. Yeah. Do you know how I learned how to walk around softly? Because Harcroft would scream at me if I walked around too loudly. We all do. Perfectly balanced. That's really blue water. Holy F.
Now's our chance.
Yo. Yo, bro. Check out this sweet medallion. But doesn't the other one do all potions by 40? But it says all. That's really annoying. Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Clive?
Clive is looking for Joshua right now. His phoenix feather was going off. Yeah, Joshua tree. Go out the window. Chase your brother down. Find him. Hug him. Tell him you love him. There's still blood on your sword.
What is it now?
It's nothing.
Let's go.
Imagine being like the Rossfield, like Elwyn's generation, like him and his brother, and it's like both your kids have magic powers, but then you die, and then your uncle's like, "Damn, both my nephews are like Superman. What the hell?" Yeah, he's like, I better go see if think how much richer I could get if.
Where are you? Well, we didn't know where to find Kupka before. We do now.
The run.
Mm-hmm. 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 I fought the tomatoes.
Themselves.
The card, not in this game that I know of, but Final Fantasy VIII is like one of my favorite Final Fantasy. Like, and I played the shit out of the card game, which the Bloody Tomato is a very good card because I think it's like 6644.
Your arms are like iron.
Somebody made the card game for like Android, and I played the shit out of it for a while. It was really good, but the AI is just too easy to beat. I always wish that was like a real card game that they sold here. Like, just make it a game, just package and sell it.
It's all the fault of this blasted war. The moment they find
Flannel?
from the Empire,
Flannel fantasy? You got fantasies of flannel?
Fucking men of the wrong. Anytime they pull their snouts out of Kupka's trough is when they want to lord it over us.
There's got to be secrets in this town, right? Oh, I found one. Genuine cactar needles imported from across the sea. Just one prick, and your little sparrow will sing. Oh my god.
I need a drink.
It's cactar. They use cactar needles as
I'm pretty flush these
Viagra?
days.
Okay. Merci. I'm pretty tired. I might not make it, to be honest. I just wonder, will Titan have hands or not? It's a burning question on my mind. Of when I find him, will he have hands? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
So they heal him with. They heal him.
To a silken softness, like eating a cloud with a crust.
I already know. Once you go flat, what? Oh, bread. Oh, dude, I love flat bread. I had a pita, and I just put it on the stove in butter, and ate that with some eggs. Really, it was so good. Anyway,
Look, Father, hot water. This town is truly blessed. The bustling markets, the healing waters, and all under the watchful eye of Lord Kupka, who stands ready to crush any threat that might face us.
a lock of toil. Yeah, I figured. Guards.
Ah, they've closed the road. And it's the only way from here to the Fang. It would seem Lord Kupka is not accepting visitors at present.
We have to get through that gate.
No.
The shift shot. Oh my god. So, last week they posted on Twitter that you can pet the dog because only like 38% of people have the achievement for petting or trophy for petting the dog 5 times. It's an easy trophy to get. You just pet the dog 5 times, like, but most people don't have it.
By force, I trust. We've attracted quite
That's still not enough.
enough unwanted attention already.
By guile, then. Perhaps the Desert Hare can offer us her aid.
Rosina Dallam.
Oh, people have not wrote Ambrosia. Because that's a side quest. So people haven't even done it.
Woman of mystery. But how will we find her? We know naught of her but her name.
And that she was working with Cid. Cid's other collaborators have all been people of means. The wealthiest and most successful members of their communities. I'll wager this Rosina Dallamel is the same.
That would certainly help to narrow the search. We need only inquire as to who is in charge.
Yeah, I know. I've done it. Yeah. Upgraded their gear. Yeah. But you get to upgrade your gear. You upgrade a lot of gear very early in the game, actually. And you already have the gear. You already have everything for it. You don't have to like work at it.
The town. And that's exactly what I mean to do.
Have done the what? Wow. People already have it.
Looks like we won't be getting back to Drake's Fang anytime soon.
Well, it's not like
It's a lot of work, dude.
Anything I can interest you in?
I can buy a platinum sword here. Hunter's waistcloth, hunter's own cloth. Breath of lightning. Reduce the lightning rod cooldown time by 5 seconds.
Here you are.
I have that trophy. I didn't know what it was referencing, though. Upgrade what to the max? Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I definitely don't have that. I did read it, though. I think it's because it's not hidden.
Anything else I can take off your hands? Thank you kindly.
Yeah, that's where they talk about how he was getting into my nuts, and I was like, I don't know. Oh, yes, I have done that side quest, yes. Do I go explore that part of the desert, or do I do this quest right here? Good night. I'm gonna go to bed shortly.
Anything I can help you with, travelers? Allow me. My good man, we represent one of the oldest and greatest trading houses of Port Isolde. We're seeking to expand our business in the region and would very much like to make the acquaintance of Dallamel's leading entrepreneurs. If only we knew where to find them.
Well, we're best known for our baths, our markets, and our smithies. I suppose you could do worse than start your search at one of those.
Thank you. You've been most helpful. Oh, You wouldn't happen to know a lady by the name of Rosina Dalamil, would you?
No. I can't say I do.
Well, thank you all the same.
Dalamil is famous for its spas, its markets, and its smithies. Somebody at one of those might be able to help you.
Speak with two people? Okay.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
I won't keep you long. I'm looking for someone. A woman by the name of Rosina Dalamil. Do you know her?
Never heard of her. Is that all?
One more question. If I wanted to find the richest trader in town, where would you recommend that I look?
Well, that's easy. The Briar's Kiss. Won't find a finer smithy this side of the strait. The owner's only a young sprig, but he's got all the right ideas.
The Briar's Kiss, you say? Thank you.
I doubt this young sprig is the person we're looking for. You said Sid's contact was likely to be an influential sort. Influence comes with age and experience, believe you me.
Quest location. Quest destination.
Mummy, I want to play with the
Fine.
crystal. How many times?
Can I help you? Yes, I'm looking for a woman by the name of Rosina Dalamil. A long-standing pillar of your community, I believe, from old trading stock.
Then you should ask Furder. He's been here for years. Knows the place and its people like the back of his hand. And he's in with all the old merchant families. Try the baths. That's where you'll usually find him.
Thank you kindly.
Ask for Furder at the baths. If this woman you're looking for is still around.
Well, it sounds like we have our man.
Perhaps. Let's go and find out exactly what this Furder knows.
Hanging lanterns, keep the darkness from your door.
Excuse me. Are you Furder?
I am. Can I help you, travelers?
I hope so. You've lived here for some time, is that correct? Do you know Rosina Dalamil? We believe she may be a trader of some renown.
And what business do you have with the desert hare?
She was a close friend of mine. I was hoping she might be able to help me.
Very well. Go to the bordello. I'll arrange an introduction. I know who you're looking for. Go to the bordello and wait there.
This town is truly blessed. The bustling markets, the healing waters, and all under the...
Do you think we can trust him?
Only as far as
No.
So you're the ones who've been sniffing around?
I beg your pardon?
Don't play the fool. Stick your nose in our business and you're likely to lose it.
Stay down! Who are you working for? Him or her?
Him. The boss. He wanted us to test you.
Though one could hardly call that a test.
Lord Furder?
Look what the cat dragged in.
His mouth's not
Your
moving.
skill with the blade is rare
Oh, there we
indeed,
go.
my lord. A fitting talent for an outlaw.
You know who I am. So what now? Call in the Men of the Rock and collect the bounty?
That isn't my decision to make. Our work is done. Take him to meet his precious Rosina. She will be interested to make his acquaintance.
Yes, my lord. To the Lock of Leisure, then.
To the Lock of Leisure.
Jesus. A lot of running around.
Plates and pots!
The juiciest meat from Green's fed bird.
Is this the place?
Lubor's Forge. The Briar's Kiss. Ah, so it was the young sprig after all. So much for Rosina Dalamil being a woman of experience. How wrong I was.
It was an easy mistake to make, Uncle. After all, it must have been years since Sid last saw her. Sorry, him. Whoever this Lubor truly is, he's clearly a man of means. I'd say he deserves our respect.
See that he gets it. Lubor, Lord Furder told me to bring them to you.
My boys tell me you're in need of assistance. Sid the Second.
I won't waste your time. I need passage through the south gate.
Tell me, what do you think is a merchant's most important commodity?
Customers.
Why, trust. Everyone knows that. Without it, you have nothing. And nothing is exactly what you have. And so, for you, I, too, have nothing. I'm not in the business of helping every lost puppy that wanders in off the street. I'm a busy man, as you can see.
You're not doing anything.
Let's leave this mummer to his farce.
By all means. Find someone else to help you on your way. Just be sure to tell them you're not the two travelers from the inn the guards are looking for. Don't want them jumping to conclusions, do we?
Why, you...
So, what do we need to do to earn your trust?
I like this one. Willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Ha! Men like you have a special place in my heart. Why, you ask? Because they get me what I want. Always.
This is the most annoying character
Fine.
we've met so far.
So what do you want?
Don't tell me you're going to listen to this swaggering scruff.
We might as well hear him out. It's only natural that an ally of Sid's would seek assurances of strangers. Assuming he is an ally, of course. 5 years ago, he would have still been a boy.
And yet even then I had more good sense than a man, 5 times my age? But enough of the pleasantries. We were speaking of what I want. I want you to put an end to the trouble in Dalamil. Return to me when you have done so, and you shall have my aid. Until then, I bid you good day.
What trouble? If you're going to give us orders, be clear about them. Damn you!
It's pretty vague.
Manners, Greybeard. One catches more damselflies with honey than with vinegar.
What did you call me?
My apologies. A word of advice in recompense. Follow the crystals. Oh, but that was 3. Oh, I'm making this too easy for you.
Ha! It will be easy. Solving his little riddle should be like dealing with him. Child's play. Let us divide our forces, Clive. I'd rather not drag this parlor game on any longer than we need to.
All right. Good luck, Uncle. I thought we were the only ones causing trouble in Dalamil.
Okay, well, I'm pretty tired. Oh. So I'm gonna call it there. That's not terribly short either. That was Can we delete this one? We can. There we go. Okay. Yeah, almost 3 hours. So pretty good. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next one. Boop.